camera fell off right there. Don't try to think I'm gonna try and be a level 10 just like you, just because I saw it. I like it. If I get there, I'll get there. But I'm not gonna try and get there, bro. That don't make no sense. Because the Heavenly Father didn't give me that as an inheritance. He gave me the level 4, and I'm happy with that. Why would I be a level 10? I'm trying to prove myself to you? Does that make any sense? Because I know. Plus, you got the other jigs that be like, why you buy my style, man? You buy my style, Holmes. Some people actually bite your stuff because they like it. Some people bite it because they don't like you. They like your stuff, but they don't like you. You have that one also. So it's different categories. People biting your stuff. You know, they was biting on Mac Drizzle. And I saw it. I was like, shit. You know? It's like Michael Jackson is not the one that invented the moonwalk. He isn't. Hey, Salah, what's up, man? Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm not keeping up on that.
You look Muslim.
Yeah, I'm not Muslim. It's the Bible.
Bible and Islam is almost.
Yeah, you said almost.
Yeah,
man, it's good. Yeah, man. Right, so going back to where I was. A monster. Right, so it says here. Oh shit! I dropped it. I didn't want to drop it. Oh man, now I don't know where I was at. Yeah. Oh yeah, Zechariah. I already finished that. So going back to Jeremiah 2 and 11. Had the nation changed their God, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit. If you follow after a heathen nation, their God, I don't know what to say. All I have to say is this. Well, I do know what to say, but I mean, sometimes I don't want to try. Why you want to follow them? Why don't you follow your own ancestors? And the good ones among us, because a lot of us, our ancestors was doing bullshit. They was following after other gods too. So in verse 12, be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith Yahweh. For my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns at that. I always say that broken cisterns that can hold no water. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Isaiah 42 and the 2 last verses explains to you why he's spoiled. Because he's stupid. Jacob is stupid. Why? Even though they're going through a lot of things, they still go and worship idols and stuff like that. That don't make no sense. They're very stubborn. Going on. Verse 15, the young lions roared upon him, which are the heathen nations. They're lions too. And yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant. That's what the heathen nation did. First Ezra chapter 1 explicitly shows you that, right? Our lands were burned and stuff like that. And those lions at that time were the Chaldeans. And before that, you had the Philistines were also lions in the midst of us. You had the Canaanites were also lions in the midst of us. So anyway, the Syrians were also lions in the midst of us. What's up? Hosea chapter 6 or Nahum. One of those two. I think it's Nahum. Nahum 2 or something like that. Which shows you that, the lions and stuff like that, he was killing meat for his whelps and his wife, his lioness. I think that's Nahum. I forgot. If you type in the word lioness, it's going to bring you to that scripture that I'm talking about. If you do it in the King James Version. Bible Gate. Right, so it says here, where is it? Jeremiah 2 and 16. Also the children of Nop and Taha pains have broken the crown of thy head. So the crown of our head, because our name is Yasharallah, right? Yasharallah, which means he is a prince of God. He's a prince of power. They slapped those princely crowns off of the head of Jacob, man. Boy, they slapped it off real good because the Most High allowed them. Verse 17. Hast thou not procured this unto thyself? Didn't you do this to yourself, Jacob? Yes, we did. In that thou forsakest Yahweh thy power, when he led thee by the way. The Most High is supposed to be leading our steps, you know, not some dude. In this case, the dude is called Caesar Borgia, because that's what our people allow themselves to lead them by the hand onto the slaughterhouse. Verse 18. And now, what is thou to do in the way of Egypt to drink the waters of Sihor? Or, what is thou to do in the way of Assyria to drink the waters of the river? That river is Euphrates. Sihor is the brook of Egypt. So, what is it talking about? What do you do? What is thou to do in the philosophies of Egypt? What is thou to do in the philosophies of Assyria? The Egyptians had over 2,000 gods, like 2,600. The Mesopotamian, they had over 3,600 gods. The Ishmaelites, they had like over 365 gods, one for each one of the year. Those are the people you want. Those are the waters you want to follow after. You know, we only have one water, which is the water that the Most High gave unto His Son to come and give us. The waters of Yahweh. That's why He gave it at the well, at the woman. But He didn't give the woman, by the way. He talked to her about the waters, because that was not an Israelite. She had other people around her that were Israelites, because the Lord did tarry there a few days, like 2, John 4, and then He left, because He told the disciples, go into any cities, enter ye not. Wait, is it? Go not into the cities of the Samaritans, and basically enter ye not, Matthew 10, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Jacob. That's where we're supposed to go. So that shows you, like, don't go there. But He went there. Why? Because He can discern spirits, like, 2 Kings chapter 17, 23 on down. It explains to you that the Israelites were there in the midst of Him also. But the Hamites were there predominantly. That's why Isaiah 11 says that we shall be gathered from Hamath, and also, which is above Israel, above Aram also, above Damascus. We will be gathered from Hamath, we will be gathered from Elam, we will be gathered from Egypt, and gathered from Assyria. Until this day, 1 Chronicles chapter 5 and the 2 last verses, it explains to you that you have Reuben, East Manasseh, and Gad living until this day there, 2025. You still have them there living in the land of Assyria, which is Ashur. And they look like them too. Yeah? So you wouldn't know. That was over what, 2,000 years ago? 3,000? No, longer than that. Sorry, 3,500 years ago, something like that. Because if you count minus 2,000, you're coming at year 0. Do you think the Earth is only 2,000 years old? They say 2025 right now. Is it 2025 years old? No. That's when they reset the clock or the timer or the number thing. You know, they resetted it because they say they know that this is the. So Esau did that on purpose to remind him which year he is in, so that, you know, Hosea chapter 6 verse 1 and 2, so that he knows, like, okay, we in that time that the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to come back. That's why it's called AD. You know, Anno Domini, which is the year of our Lord. So we are in that right now, because people might say, like, in biblical times, we in biblical times. You just believe in flying reindeers and bunnies that lay eggs. That has nothing to do with the Bible, Satan. You believe in something totally bogus. Flying reindeers. And then they say that it has to do with the Bible. How dumb are you? No. Our people are being dumbed down. And they don't consider it. They're not questioning it. I used to celebrate that thing. I was a child. As soon as I grew up, I was like, get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit. See, now the anger kicks in. I'm angry that I even followed that nonsense. Who taught you? So you should arrest your parents. Let me go on. Isaiah 19 and no. Jeremiah 2 and 19. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, right? And thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter. America means bitter. That thou hast forsaken Yahweh thy power. And it is a bitter time. Don't you wish that you didn't do that? But anyway, everything is supposed to be how it is. So yeah, we go through this in order to be made pure. And that my fear is not in thee, saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. Let me see what time it is. Let me go on. So it says here, verse 20. For of old time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands. And thou saidest, I will not transgress. So the Most High took us out of the captivity. And then we started saying, I ain't going to do it no more. Went up on every high hill and under every green tree, thou wanderest, playing the harlot. That's what the Jacob descendants were doing back then. And they're doing it until now. That's why Esau, he's doing it too. That's why he goes to the groves in California, the Bohemian Groves, and there he do his little thing. And there he do his little thing. That's why they're so successful, because they worship devils. Matthew 4, it explains to you, if you want to make it in this world, bow. I'll wait. That's what Satan is saying, I'll wait. And then they bow. That's why when you go to Hollywood, what do? They bend over. How about that? Not just bowing. Some bow. And then all of a sudden, people in their family start to end up missing. Those are the ones that bow. While other ones bend over. That's a self-sacrifice. Noriega, with his dumbass, he was explaining that you have two doors. You have the sodomy door, and you have the blood sacrifice door. That's exactly what they've been doing. And everybody was loving P. Diddy until that shit came out. Everybody was envious of his lifestyle. Not everybody, but I hope you know what I mean. People that are trying to get up in the business. Oh man, I want to be less like you. I learned that to try and be like somebody else. It's a beautiful thing if you have your own. It shows beauty, it shows character. You know, I have nothing wrong with, look, Snoop. I like his stuff. Soulja Slim, C Murder. I love that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's not about that. Like, I can't love your stuff. For example, if you see like a Edomite chick or something like that, or even a Moabite or Ammonite chick, yeah, you could be pretty, but I don't want to look like you. It's a difference. It's a difference. I don't want to look like you. I want to look like me. Like my father, my forefather, his forefather. I want to look like that. I don't want to look like you. I don't even want to make you. If I would have kids, kids look like me. You look like me, motherfucker. You don't look like nothing. Nothing of mine. You don't even look like none of my family members. The fuck are you? See? Do I have a problem with it? That's your thing. I don't want to have it. You know, that's the path that I want to walk. Why do you want to force me to walk your path? You know? Then I would be brainwashed. For example, just with the religion thing. A lot of people say I'm brainwashed and stuff like that because I have my own, because we believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. You know when I would be brainwashed? If I believed you, with your flying reindeers and bunnies that lay eggs. That's nowhere in the Bible. You see? You see how you could just explain stuff to them? It's very easy. People that say you're brainwashed are the people that want you to follow after them. How? How, Sway? How? So, Jeremiah 2 and 21. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? That the strange vine is talking about our heathen. Verse 23. Yeah. How canst, no, 22 actually. Yeah, 22. For though thou wash thee with iniquity, and take thee much soap, yet thine iniquity is marked before me, saith Yahweh. So it doesn't matter how you deck yourself out. Once you're doing iniquity on the side, you're like a sepulcher. Beautiful on the outside, full of dead man's bones in the inside. Because you're bringing a lot of people to death, and you're death yourself because you stank. The Lord's going to get rid of you. But the thing is, He's going to cause you to make a lot of people fall that He don't want. Because if the truth is for you, you're going to figure it out. If the truth is not for you, you're going to follow false teachers and false prophets. How about that? You know? So in Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 23. How canst thou say, I'm not polluted? I have not gone after Balaam. See thy way in the valley, know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary, traversing her race. A dromedary is a camel, and a camel is very stubborn. Once they put their head to something, you can't get it out of them. Dromedaries are no way. Let me look it up, the word, because if I'm correct, that is what it is. What was that verse again? No. Jeremiah 2. Yeah. Jeremiah 2. Yeah. Jeremiah 2. What? Jeremiah 2 and oh man. Irritated. Alright, join there. Yeah, a young female camel. And what is a young female camel? And how can you not stop her when they in heat? When they in heat, you can't stop them. You can try. They'll fight you. Just like a donkey. They're gonna fight you. Because they're in heat. So they're looking for stuff. They're looking for... That's what they're looking for. That's how the Israelites are. Seeking after other gods. Playing the harlot. So... Right. So in Jeremiah 2 and 24. A wild ass used to the wilderness that sniffeth up the wind at her pleasure. In her occasion, who can turn her away? All they that seek her shall not worry themselves. In her month, they shall find her. So, just like a donkey in heat, it sniffeth the wind trying to seek a male. Why? Because they're in heat. So, it says here, who can turn her away? You can't. But the other ones, you're not trying to seek a girl like that, because a girl like that is a loose head. Therefore, she gonna come around because she's looking for that tang, the third leg, you know. So you don't have to chase her; she's gonna chase you. So the heathen nations know exactly that the Jacob descendants are gonna come and kiss their ass, you know. So 25, Jeremiah 2:25. Withhold thy foot from being unshod, and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go. That's what the Israelites are doing. That's why you are an Egyptian, and that's why you are an Assyrian. Because you follow after the gods and idols and ways and mannerisms of those nations that you follow. Nowadays, you're a spiritual Edomite. So you're a spiritual Hamite, and you're a spiritual Assyrian. Verse 26. As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so shall the house of Israel be ashamed. So shall the so shall the house of Israel ashamed. Huh? So is the house of Israel ashamed. They, their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets, saying to a stock, Thou art my father, and to a stone, Thou hast brought me forth. That's just silly in itself. Going on. For they have turned their back unto me, and not their face. But in the time of their trouble, they shall say, Arise and save us. But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Let them arise, if they can save thee in the time of thy trouble. For according to the numbers of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. That's in the book of Isaiah 65. The Judites had a god for their. Let me read it again. For according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. So they had many cities. They had hundreds of cities, man, thousands even. The Israelites, the Judites, were following thousands of gods, man. After, of course, they started to fall, which is the reason why they fell, because they worship other gods. So now they don't know anymore. And yeah, that's why the Lord called us Egyptians and called us Assyrians. So, let me see. I have more scriptures, but Lord willing, I'll leave that for another time. I'll leave it at that. The hour is up. Oh yeah, I'm gonna upload the rest anyway. Upload the rest. So I'm gonna go up in a lot of scriptures that I didn't go over here. Lord willing, I'm gonna do that at the house. I already made those videos, by the way, so I'm not gonna do it today. I'm gonna upload it today, along with this one, after this one. So I'm gonna do this one first, then that one. No, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll see which one I'll do it, actually, in which order. So again, Isaiah 19:25, whom Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, shall bless, saying, Blessed be Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, mine inheritance. So what is it talking about? It's talking about the Jacob descendants being called Assyrians, and basically being called Dakar, and being called the Egyptians and stuff like that. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Adawah Kodash, double honor to the elder apostles and great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things, and shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Shalom. Wrapped up.